The Immaterial Games podcast with these guys.
Craig, what have you been playing this week?
Good story.
Yeah.
You bastard. Always wants to talk, but never actually does it.
He's always recording. He's too busy recording. And you know how he's recording? He's writing down every single word.
A bit like, talking, or a bit like doing a
Text to
thing in a
speech.
courtroom.
Oh,
Yeah, it's transcribing.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it uses our voices.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
So, let's move it on. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast, episode 91. The
Woo!
countdown to 100 begins.
Da, da, da.
So, because we've got the countdown to 100 and then we've got the countdown to 104.
Why 104, by the way?
Because that's
2
exactly
year
2 years.
anniversary.
So, So I'm Ryan, and joining me this week
Hello, Ryan.
is hello, Darius.
That's
Hi,
me.
Darius.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm alright. Not too bad.
Good. And also joining is D.
Woo!
Hello, D.
Hello, D. How are you doing?
Oh, game over. Fine.
Oh, that's an unfortunate situation that you're dealing with.
Yeah, I didn't get my tiles. I'm playing Mahjong.
Fair enough. So we're on more lockdown.
Yeah, but
This town is really under lockdown.
Can't wait when it's finished.
You know, yeah.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
It's like my little rituals. It's just like disturbed. It's annoying me a little bit now.
When there's nothing on in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? Anyone.
Call Lester.
Just anyone. Yeah, call us to anyone. Just have a talk. Which is why the podcast continue. The podcast continue until morale improves.
Which is never.
Yeah.
I should have said that, should I?
Well, my morale's been quite low this week.
Mm-hmm. It's not been great, has it?
Nope.
But no, I was watching Russell Howard's Home Time, and he was having a conversation with the comedian John Richardson, and he did say this though. It's like you can look there. I just keep going through the cycle of sitting there in self-pity, going, "Woe is me," and then I look at the news and I see the amount of deaths, and I go, "Well, I'm actually living all right, aren't I?" It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You got to think of it this way. Could be sat at home, only going out for shopping, when it's essential, and exercise, and not being able to see your friends and family and all that business. But at least you're alive.
That's questionable.
The way I see it, but, results may vary.
I'm not exactly a half-pint kind of person.
Well, you did wake up one morning and had a sip of the rum and coke that you left when you went to bed. I mean, if that's not hair of the dog, who knows what it is?
And then I filled it up and put it back in the fridge.
Well, that's even better.
So I'm now 2/3 of the way through my bottle of Kraken.
Yeah. So, with that, the way it's going, we're all going to not get drunk or God knows what. And we're going to move on to the What's Been Played special.
What's being played?
Load her up.
Well, it would be an English thing. Borderline alcoholics.
Borderland alcoholics. There we go, that's a good one.
Every time you kill someone, you drink.
Oh, you'd have no liver by the time you got through the first area. So
Does that include skag?
Yes. Skags are beings too. So, based on that, we're going to go down the order, and because D is live streaming Mahjong at the moment, you're first.
Oh, great. Well, I've only been playing GTA, LOL, and what was the other thing I've been playing?
What, Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. I got to 75 in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, you could if you want, and we can talk about the recent patch that's happened for Star Wars that has made the conquest system, what are the words?
Retarded? No, wait. That's a bad word.
Unquestionable.
Yeah, maybe fucking easier.
Assuming you basically beat your score in an hour, that was just ridiculous.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about what conquest was before the patch?
I didn't really. I know conquest is the thing that you gain over time from completing quests and whatnot. And at the end of the week, well, on a Tuesday, It's
Yeah, on a Tuesday.
it resets again, and then you start all over again. And your guild has one that you do as a team, and then you get a bonus at the end of the week for it.
Yeah, and the thing that used to be with Conquest is that it was originally marketed as a sort of an end game activity. So
Okay.
a lot of the stuff that you'd get like weekly events that you'd need to do, and most of them went to planets that people wouldn't be able to access unless they were max level or between 70 and 75. They released a patch last Wednesday.
I do like the way the other thing from the patch is the 6 to 700 thing's been took off because I've got my skills to 700 without paying the half a mil first.
Yeah, whether that's meant to happen or not is still under decision. But since they haven't removed it yet, we're going to go that they have.
Well, it could be that they're doing a. See, I'll do it with when they're bringing in a new con, like a new thingy, like a new raid or whatever.
Mm.
Now, like between Lich King and say Pandaria or Cataclysm or whatever,
Some sort of like bridging.
like they'll
mechanic.
remove the skill thing just before the next
just so-
major expansion.
Just so people can catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds normal.
But
But
yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
the way I've been processing it from the things with MMOs.
yeah. But I mean, with Conquest, it's gone ridiculous. I understand where they've come from. They've changed how they want people to operate under Conquest and how sort of guilds level and how they expect players to socialize through the Conquest mechanic. The way they do that is by just making it open to everyone now.
And the fact that you were getting conquests for every time you complete a killer unit, pretty much every planet and kill a unit on the planet. X amount of units on the planet. So while you're leveling up, you're gaining conquest for the guild
Exactly.
after level 10.
Yeah. So they've made it open to absolutely every level range, and that, you know what, is much better.
Well, it's like my level 13 Jedi's already got 7k.
Hmm.
It's gone from 10. Well, in 3 levels, it's gained 7k, and that's just a basic Jedi Sage. I got a spellcaster because I've already got a spellcaster.
Yeah.
So I've now got
So-
2 clothes.
So my question is,
Hmm.
if it's for everyone right now, what is the end goal to work towards to?
So the end goal now is sort of the same as any other MMO really, and that's to beat their version of a raid, which they call operations, and would be to sort of get unique items out of them operations. Conquest is just a sort of a means to get people closer to that end game content now.
Right.
Like it gives you, if you complete you get your 50,000 conquest that you
So
need.
basically making the access to the raid a little bit more feasible.
Yeah. I mean, this is considered a you sort of how sort of MMO patches go in terms of how they number them.
Yeah.
So so you've got your version 1, 2, 3. They're your big expansions. Then you've got your 0.1, 0.2. They're sort of your mini, they're sort of your big updates in that expansion, and then a 0.1
Like,
to 0.1 is sort of fixes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you got like 1.1 was like, oh look, here's a new raid. It's like, yeah. Oh look, we've redone 1.1.1. Oh look, we've tweaked the tech tree. Okay, we fixed the bug where you fall through the floor in this area. Okay,
They even come into hot fixes sometimes, depending on how urgent they are.
that's the
Yeah, if it's something breaking the game, that's called hotfix when it's fixed, let's say, on a daily basis.
that's Warframe. Warframe and its freaking hot fixes.
Warframe Digital Extremes are good with that though. The moment they know that there's a problem with the game and it needs fixing, they are on it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've been on the game for the evening or whatnot, and we've had 4 hot fixes.
Yeah, but
It's like, okay,
that's a way.
whatever again.
That's a way like code works. Though people say, "Oh, why can't you fix it all at the same time?" That's because a problem may not appear without fixing a problem beforehand.
It's also the kind of worms theory. You fix one problem and 10 more pop up.
Yeah, that's how code works.
Yeah, you can fix the code in one place. However, it will broke the code in another place because mainly too many people working on the code in their own way. So if one person would be coding, okay, he's keeping the same structures, same instructions in line.
Yeah.
But when you've got like few people joining in, everyone's writing style is different. Even if they have a set amount of rules to follow to make the code, and
It's like how coders tend to have their own unique like imprint, so
yeah,
people can go, "That's so and so's code." You can tell because there's that weird thingy here, here, and here.
And then
exactly.
it's their responsibility when they break it. Hey.
Like the little footnotes or whatever.
Yeah, you can follow. Even if let's say you've got like few writers writing a book, one chapter after another will feel differently depending on who wrote it.
Yeah.
So that's why when you've got like bunch of people working on a code, when you fix one thing, it can easily break another.
Oh yeah.
Also, code's a bastard. It's a fickle bitch.
Oh, tell me about it.
Code is a fickle pain in the ass.
That's why I don't code now. Learned that lesson. But yeah, so that's the conquest mechanic, and the sort of they've been doing a sort of a double XP event, which is also designed to get people towards the end game.
Well, I got to level 47 question area and I'm already 75.
Yeah.
And that was before the XP event. I got to 60. So, yeah, you can get to like 40 leveling area and you're already 75.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Yeah. But, game's still fun.
So I managed to. I'll finish the storyline so I'm now Darth.
Yeah. They have another mechanic in it where there's 8 classes for the characters, and if you complete each class's story, you get a title. You're a legendary player, and there's benefits for completing each class story as well. Anyway.
Yeah, because now I have the 3 class skills for the Source, the Inquisitor, and I have the minions have all done their storyline, so I get bonus from the minions or something.
Yeah, presence, which means that going forward, each character that you have, their companions will be easier to use, or they'll be better for you each time, just to help you progress through that better.
Yeah, because it's doing the whole thing of you can't just have one character; you need to have multiple characters. The skills need to be.
Well, you can have one character, but you get a benefit by having more. They want you to experience the game. It's a massive story-based game.
Yeah, it's like I've maxed my silk threading out now, but I need slicing if was gonna do it on my own. So you need a second character to get the slicing because you need slicing, archaeology, and underworld trading if you want to do it all on your own. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do the roll with the AH.
Meh. There's just ways. That's if you need it. I mean, a lot of the time, a lot of the stuff that you're crafting out of that is just to get you to a start for raiding and dungeoning, or flashpoints or operations, using their correct words.
Yeah.
But yeah, having relative fun.
Oh, LOL's got the new galaxies, or is like next week?
New patch won't come out until tomorrow, as you're listening to this. But yeah. So
I don't know if the new galaxies have been talked about.
Oh, we've talked about galaxies fairly a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, that's that. So, as I was saying, are you fairly enjoying Star Wars?
Yes and no.
Ooh, no, why not?
It's you got to be in the mood for it, if you know the MMO mood where you're just like, all right, I'm going to be grinding quests for a while, so you got to sit down, relax, and
you relax. You put on either a playlist or a podcast list, and you just zone out.
Well, the other thing is when you're on Discord and whatnot, it gets a little bit irritating if people are talking because it's a story based. There's a lot of story based stuff, and you're like, wait, what the frick did the character just say?
We did have that. There was a situation. I think it was actually last night. There was 5 of us in the channel, 6 of us in the channel actually. I think there was me and Steph, who were doing a communication-based Flashpoint-like thing. There was Paul and there was Martin and our friend Paul who were doing
Their
some
Flashpoint.
sort of leveling and the Flashpoint, and then there was D who was doing story missions. Crosstalk happened.
Yeah, it's just like Star Wars is good if you. It's a good story-based game, but if you've got people talking, it kind of ruins it a little bit. If you know what I mean.
It can, yeah. No, I understand.
It's like when you get to a cut.
The best way to enjoy the story is to enjoy it on your own or with a person in your party.
Yes.
Because it kind of like if someone is talking over, it's like when you have cutscenes and stuff, or you got a like a lot of the story-based stuff is like
well, like your class story is local to you.
Yeah, but it's also like the like when you're having the conversations with the AI and you've got to give them 3 options. You get given 3 responses, shall we say. But if you don't know what the frick the AI is saying, you're like, right, I need to quickly skim through the subtitles that I've got up.
So, yeah, see what they last said and
try to figure it out what I have to answer.
Yeah.
But you can also press escape just before the end of the conversation and start the conversation all over again.
Which I feel is cheating, but to each their own.
If you wanted to get like this person approves, this person disapproves of that, so you just go no escape. So they like that, they dislike that. So this one this time.
Yeah, I mean it's made the influence sort of mechanic. The approval or disapproval doesn't really change much now because they don't seem to lose influence.
Oh, what was it? And I'm still neutral. I'm 75 and I'm still neutral.
That I mean, it's a nice thing that you've done there. Mechanically, it may suck, but it's a nice thing that you went neutral. The game is really, really trying hard to push one or the other now.
One way or the other.
To the point where completing a quest will force you to have light side or dark side points. Because there is just a button that allows you to commit between the light side and the dark side. You can flick that switch each time, but there is no ability to turn it off.
Yeah, you're just constantly gaining. And I've got to dark side 1 and light side 1 before because I've forgot to toggle it back. When you've leveled up to light side 1, okay, toggle to dark side. You've got to dark side 1, okay, toggle to light side.
But that's how it is. So yeah, we will move on from the dark side stuff. The dark side. We'll move on from the Star Wars stuff.
And I lied about the cookies though.
Yeah, they always do. So Dariusz,
what have you been playing, dude?
Well, I had a few additional hours on Final Fantasy Remake.
The new.
So how far in the story are you, Ryan?
I am now in chapter 13 or 12. Basically, I've just finished the Sector 7 fight between Reno at the top of the plate separation pillar thing.
Okay. So I might be still half a chapter ahead of you.
I mean,
so you'd have not seen aftermath of the fall of the plate.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So I'm not gonna spoil too much. However, you are familiar with certain people dying.
Oh yes, I'm familiar of the members of Avalanche dying, and they still die.
I don't remember them dying in the original game, to be honest.
They don't die. They are dying and are unable to evacuate from the plate when the plate goes down. So Wedge, he just basically falls from the sky and lands, and that's supposed to be his death. Biggs is just perched over a banister. He's supposed to die pretty much there. Jessie is just sat on a bunch of stairs up at the top, and she's just like severely injured but not quite dead.
Yep.
But it's insinuated when the
that
plate
they
goes
die
down in Final Fantasy VII Original that they all die.
Okay. It's just that they don't play the gruesome bit of it. It's just like what's that mechanic? Not Orwellian. Well, sort of. You don't see it. You just got to kind of gather. Is it Orwellian?
No, Orwellian is oppressive. Yeah, basically, no. It's insinuated that it's insinuation based on sort of where they are, and it's like, oh yeah, they're fucked. But let's go to the top of the tower anyway.
It's like I was watching something and it was like, well, that guy's bone. It's like,
Guys.
I'm 30 minutes away from retirement.
Oh, the old classic. No, in remake, as Darius will probably allude to here, it's more explicit. They die in front of you. Well, not Wedge, but there's a reason behind that. As we discussed, as me and Darius discussed last week, remake fucks with the story a bit.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Big times.
Oh
So-
yeah, you were said that about Oh well, the other one is the swearing bit and stuff, and even Flower Girl swears.
Oh yeah, Eris swears. Something that I was.
When she get angry, yes.
Well, I would have never expected her to. She's so sort of light-hearted and sometimes airheaded, but sort of knows what's
Sort of
going on a
ditzy.
lot. So just like, oh, I'm not going to be treated by like some little princess. Ladder snaps, shit, But this is where the sort of the story part comes in as well. Wedge didn't die immediately.
Okay.
No. However, they show it quite nicely later on. You will see.
Mm,
First of all, you do think he is completely dead, but half an hour later, okay, he might have survived somehow.
what? I thought Whispers had succeeded overall through it, and this is the spoilers for people who still haven't played it yet. Events of Final Fantasy Remake divert from the events of the original game.
One.
But there are a group of weird things which you later hear or later know as Whispers have been sort of behind the scenes trying to keep the timeline as it originally was. So there's a bit as you're going up the what do they call it? The pillar. It's the pillar, isn't it? That holds the plate together. I have
no idea.
I was more looking for Darius.
Yes, they are going through the pillar.
Yes, thank you. As you're going up the pillar, you sort of cut to some of the characters, one of them being Jessie, and she's just kicking ass up the plate to the point where she looks like she's going to win the fight. She's just throwing grenades everywhere. She's kissing them. It's like, these are my great grenades. They're all great. And then a bunch of these Whispers fly around her. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to throw this grenade and I'm not going to get hurt or anything like that. You then hear an explosion. Cloud and Tifa are now there. They run up to find Jessie just buried beneath rubble, insinuating that these Whispers have actually fucked up with her grenade and
I made it cave in and
basically exploded in her hands to make sure that she didn't succeed.
So again, the Whisper at the moment, at least, they are still trying to make the game stay on the track to the original one.
Yeah, which is why this is pissing off some sort of fans. Me, I think. Well, we discussed this. We'll put a card in the podcast on YouTube for this. We talked about how we enjoyed them fucking around with the story.
Yeah, we did, and I still do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I haven't really played that much Final Fantasy. The only one I've played all the way through is 10-2.
I mean, as a thing, as we'll go on this without spoiling too much, if you ever managed to get a cheap PS4 and a copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake, you would be able to play that without knowing anything in Final Fantasy VII because it plays differently to Final Fantasy VII. It's designed to be a different experience. So that's there.
I think it's going to be backwards compatible for the thing at Christmas.
Well, I have to admit, Yeah, go ahead then. Sorry.
Do you know like they're meant to be releasing new consoles at Christmas?
Yes.
With all this going on, would production be halted on that?
So word on the wire is yes.
It's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but it will be out with assuming 6 million copies at launch.
Yeah, so there's sort of two different stories. One is like Darius said, delayed, and then more expensive. More expensive but on track, delayed, and sort of stuff in between.
Sorry, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, it's a good question on that, and especially given the fact that, I mean, did it? Yeah, it did get confirmed, didn't it?
It got confirmed that
the PS5 would be backwards compatible with the back catalogue, though not immediately.
Yeah, and it looks like I do like the look of the PS5 a little bit over the Cube.
Oh, the Xbox Series X, Xbox One, not One.
Well, however, we
whatever
don't
they
have
call it.
how the PlayStation 5 looks like at the moment. We don't know that. Everything on the web is still like a fan-made renders.
Yeah, they're not denying
okay.
that recent look of it, though they're not confirming it
Confirming
either.
it either. Okay. But yeah, I just thought with all the things going on, would that because I know everything's up in the air right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
And we
just
cannot be
like everything else in
100%
the world,
sure
really, isn't it?
whether. Yeah.
Because that is that was the big thing to look forward to near Christmas. Well, not look forward to, but the big thing for Christmas. Oh look, new console the month before Christmas. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a.
Well, I'm definitely planning on buying it. Just to have that. I was no.
Rewrite, try again.
Yep. I was still kind of like to the recent days interested in buying just PlayStation 4 Pro. But at the moment, I'm not gonna do it. I don't really need 4K at the moment. I'm happy to wait. I don't need HDR at the moment. I can wait. So giving that the extra horsepower from PlayStation 5.
Just not necessary yet.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'm not. PlayStation 4 is not necessary yet for me. Definitely not at the PlayStation 5 at launch. But yeah, this is something I will definitely look forward to upgrade to.
Yeah.
Well,
in kind of like recent days because well, you can still have your old collection of games, but bump out the graphics for better.
Well, see, I've still got the well, if I was console gaming, I've got the PS2 and the Xbox 360 still. I haven't got the 1 or the 4.
Yeah, so when you have only your own disposable income and not your parents' income, then being cheeky and asking for both consoles is not generally the thing anymore.
Yeah.
So sort of had to choose between one and the other, and it ended up being the PS4.
Well, yeah, it's the whole, yeah, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's just I kind of threw that. It's kind of went off thingy there, but
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, went off
So,
track like the story in
yeah.
Final Fantasy Remake. Heyo.
So yeah, so far I do love the story. I love the gameplay. A little bit, maybe not disappointed, but I wish I could like more free travel between the sectors. Maybe I don't know how yet, but I wish I could do it.
Sid.
No, Sid
No.
isn't even a thought in anyone's mind.
Oh,
Like we mentioned, Remake, or at least Part 1 of Remake, is set entirely in Midgar. And you don't speak to Sid until you're about to need an airship, which is
Later on.
a fuck lot longer.
I don't know. That's my only solution is.
So, for example,
Sid, please help.
I know in sector, was it 5 or 6 right now?
Chocobo.
There is the shop where when in the kid garden thing, kids have their base basically somewhere in the woods.
Oh yeah,
in the
Sector
woods.
5.
Yeah, 65 then. So yeah, you've got those kids, and one of them is selling pretty good books and weapons.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have to have Muggles medals.
Moogle medals.
Yeah, I didn't have much of them back in the
Are those
first visit.
like little
However,
things?
I do have quite a lot of them right now, and I wish to pick up some books. I cannot do it.
Yeah, not yet. You need to find a way back. But you'd expect him to have a way back. Just to answer D, yes, Moogles, the floating things that look like kind of cats with the little bobbles on top. Yeah, they're the
On the head.
Moogles. There is a summon called Chocobo and Mog.
Fat Chocobo.
Oh, well, there's Fat Chocobo as well, but there's Chocobo and Mog, which is just a. There's 3 Chocobo related looking summons. Just mad. And some of that is depending on whether you pre-ordered or not, though. I feel sorry for anyone who got Fat Chocobo as their pre-order bonus because everyone gets Fat Chocobo once you do a weird fight.
No.
But yeah,
Wasn't
actually, there's
the
Chocobo
pre-order
Chick, wasn't there?
bonus the cactus thing?
Huh?
The pre-order. Oh no, yeah, you're right. Yes. Sorry, I thought you're talking about the deluxe edition.
Yeah, there was one. There was like a digital deluxe edition that had one summon in it, and then there was just the standard edition. If you pre-ordered that, you'd get Chocobo Chick, which is basically Zarz's Chocobo, which there just fucks up the timelines and universes completely. Given Zarz was from Final Fantasy 13.
Okay.
But yeah, no, there was like there's all that. And what's his name? There's the kid who is basically Ignis from Final Fantasy 15. He asks you to get battle intel, which you do certain tasks like stag a certain amount of enemies or do all that, and you then get materia, or he puts materia in his shop that you can buy. The first one you buy at a heavy discount, and then you've got to spend fuck tons of gil afterwards.
Okay.
And to be honest, until you get to the Colosseum, farming isn't exactly a thing.
Oh, Ignis isn't the recipe guy, is it?
He is the recipe guy, but there's I've forgotten the name of the
That's
kid.
a new
I
recipe.
think it's like called Wheatley. I don't know. But he's like a kid who says he works for the research and development division of Shinra, but wants to take Shinra down. And he's just like, I've got it. I've got a new materia. And I was like, oh my god.
I have an idea for a new material. Can you do this for me, please?
Yeah, I do like that he passes you like VR goggles and it's like take on this summon, and if you beat the summon, I'll have the data necessary to make the summon. So the first thing you face is Shiva, and it's just like, oh right, cool, yeah. But yeah, enjoying it though still.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You have got a new recipe.
It's probably it might be my game of the year depending how Cyberpunk turns out.
that is a good shout to be honest.
So
I'd be
yeah,
happy with that.
I'm pretty sure it will be down between these two games, between Final Fantasy Remake and Cyberpunk 2077.
Is 20, but everything will. Yeah. Is that going to
Yeah.
be still on schedule?
No,
Well,
it's
it was on
delayed
schedule
already.
yes, it's supposed to be, I think, right now released-ish.
Yeah.
However, they're releasing it in September, and that is kind of like, I'm pretty sure this is a definite date.
Remind me, was the delay on Cyberpunk because of the virus? Was it because they were shifting
No,
to a workaround?
it wasn't.
Or
It was
something
before. It was beforehand.
Right.
Well, it wasn't beforehand. I'm not sure if it was entirely before. Yeah, I think it was before the lockdowns and everything. It was. They announced the delay because they just needed some more time to finish it, polish it.
Mm-hmm.
Give
I
it an
remember
extra
now.
coat of wax.
Yeah.
Which, thinking about the scope of this game, I don't think this is going to be a bad idea.
Yeah. It's massive. And I mean, if you're going to sit there and put some extra CG work into Keanu Reeves, you do it right.
Oh yeah.
And the rest, of course, but Keanu Reeves anyway. Oh, right.
I still don't believe they managed to get him on the game.
Keanu
sure
Reeves does what he wants now.
Yeah.
Do you need some help, Mr. Wick?
I mean, what is he, Johnny Silverhand?
Yes, it is.
It is indeed.
The Continental.
Yes. Well, there was no Continental in Cyberpunk. Probably, who knows? Fucking, the way that they're going, fucking Cyberpunk 2077, John Wick, and The Matrix are all going to be in the same bloody universe at this rate. All in the mind of Bill. Or was he Ted?
No.
Was he Bill or Ted in Bill and Ted?
I'm not sure. But no, what was it? Yeah, just randomly come across a hotel at some point and just hear, welcome back. You're like, what?
Yeah. Just like, hey, what now? Right. Well, speaking of mental breakdowns.
So, Ryan, what have you been playing?
Disco Elysium. I'll just get it right there.
Breaking what?
So, Disco Elysium. It's a RPG from ZAUM or Zaum Studio.
Is that the thing you were playing earlier?
Yes. It was the thing I was playing earlier. It's fucking awesome, and I've only played a couple of hours, and I've restarted it once already just so D could see what was going on in it. I'm thinking of restarting it a third time, and if we can get someone as a bloody co-pilot, we could do this as a role-playing Nottingham games in the future. But
it's weird. Give
yeah,
you that. It's
So-
funny, but it's weird.
yeah. So it's as it's described on Wikipedia, it is a non-traditional role-playing game. Think about how sometimes in someone plays D&D, and everyone knows, they're going in, they roll characters, they need to roll stats based on combat abilities because they know there's going to be a combination of talk and combat. In Disco Elysium, throw the combat out the window. There is none.
Yeah.
Because instead, everything is done through skill checks and dialogue.
Yeah.
So, the beginning of the game, best way to start this, at the beginning of the game, you are a detective, you think, possibly, who knows, who's woke up from a massive bender. It's like 3-day.
He doesn't even know his own freaking name, I don't think, at this point.
He doesn't know his own name, doesn't even know his own face. He's an amnesiac. He's 7 days into a murder case at which he spent 3 days pissed and drugged out of his head. And then he wakes up to find that he's got a partner on the case who's basically saying, "What the hell are you doing? Are we going to solve this murder or what?" And so you go around. It's an isometric field. It basically plays like your normal CRPG games, like Planescape Torment and Tyranny, Pillars of Eternity, sort of the modern CRPGs, even sort of Wasteland 2. But you don't fight. You talk, and you try and sort of go through the surroundings. And the way that they then solve the fact that you've got no combat is that there are 24 key skills that you would have to roll successful checks on based on your core parts of physique, intelligence, psyche, and mobility or mobilitics or something like that. They call it. It's basically agility.
Basically, didn't you roll critical fumble on the first two and one of the ones that you were going to make? And like, nope.
No, I mean I succeeded of picking up a tie off a fan.
83%. Yeah. There's a tie just spinning on a fan.
One of those ceiling fans. And you could roll based on your Novu Fair or something like that. It's just like one of the agility checks. And you could roll, and you got a 25% chance.
Or
you
you could
have a 75% chance of slicing your arm in the ceiling fan and losing a health. But you could, like Dee's about to say.
you rolled and switched the fan off, will give you an 80% chance of not critically fumbling.
Yeah, just simple thing, and it does. It still follows a D&D system of, like, you roll 2 d6s, and your score is added to your skill to determine whether you succeed or not. But it still follows the D&D 5th edition rules of you cannot succeed no matter what on a 1, or in this case, a 2, and you cannot fail on a 12. So there is basically critical failure, critical success. They happen regardless of your stats.
So yeah, you can, if you get snake eyes, you're screwed. Doesn't matter how good you are, snake eyes, you.
Yeah, like I say, just like normal D&D, it's like, oh right, you've got an athletics skill of 15, so you get a +5 bonus. I only require a 5, so you'll succeed immediately, provided you don't roll a 1.
Yeah.
You're like critical fumble.
Oh look, you still tripped and fell on your own nose, and broke your neck in the process. But yeah, no, this happens for every skill check, and like I said, there are 24 different types of skill check. Some that's just like that, based on ability, agility. There's one sort of based on encyclopedia, so it's like, all right, it's knowledge. Do you know something like this before? I mean, the character is apparently his portrait shows that he's got a permanent grin, regardless of what's happened. So he's been so drunk and so high that he's just got a permanent grin that they call in the game, with asterisks on either side, the expression.
Yeah, and it's like when he looks in the mirror.
Yeah, it's just swollen nose, permanent grin, which me and D deduced was the signs of a late stage alcoholic.
Yep, he looks like a late stage alcoholic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But Yeah, so the idea is that you're supposed to solve the mystery, you go speak to people, you try and judge what they're like as a character, because that will help provide bonuses when it comes to actually then doing skill checks to try and get more information as you go along. And that's how you progress the story. But you still have health and you have morale. And if you lose all your health or all your morale, it's game over. So you can injure yourself on certain things. As right in the beginning of the game, you woke up from the most epic of hangovers and you turn the light
You
on.
can kill yourself.
Oh yeah, you can lose a health immediately by turning
It's
the
pretty
light on because you're photosensitive because you've been pissed for 3 days straight.
No.
-1 health because it's too bright.
Yeah. Well, my first character I rolled only had 2 health, so I lost 50% of my health doing a situation, which I'll just explain in a second. But yeah, it's like lose either of those and you either break down or you die, just based on what's happened. Now, this leads to funny situations, especially when you fail certain checks, because there are 2 types of checks. There's white checks and red checks. White checks, you can try again once you've gained a stat point in the check that you failed, or you succeed. Red checks have to be succeeded there and then, or they're gone. And I spoke to the cafeteria manager. He explains and definitely tells you that he is a cafeteria manager, not a barkeep.
Oh, that bit.
Yeah. So it's like you woke up in this room, you've trashed it. And so you go and do your investigation. And the guy's like, hold the fuck on. You owe me 100 quid. Or 100 real, as the currency is in this. And one of the checks is that you can try and, get away with, I think it is just a fast reactions check to just go, yeah, about that, leg it. I failed that check. And the screen flashed red to tell me it failed. It then took control away from me as I watched my character look left, look right, run away, jump backwards, face the barkeep, flip the bird with him twice. He's just giving him the middle finger with both his hands, and he's flying backwards, and he's not looked to find a paraplegic in a wheelchair behind him, and he's flying towards her, arse first. The game slows down. You talk about the mistake that you have just made, and one of the conversation bits is, the woman in the chair's behind me, isn't she? Fades to black, you hear a clattering around, and you're dead. I laughed my head off so much, even though I realised that was a game over because I would lost a health. But I just love it. So it's the things that have got to happen like that in lieu of, tactical mismanagement because of combat. So it's just something that you could play again over and over again, and you could try doing different checks. The game has 3 pre-made sort of characters types that you can choose, or you can just make your own.
Oh, okay.
I made an entirely average one for my thing because you're only allowed 20 points to put into the character, so you have to split them. No, 12 points. Yeah, 12 points because 4 skills, and I've got 3 in each, which makes me distinctly average.
Yeah, you
So
have
you are good and nothing.
Yeah, I'm average cop. Oh yeah, that was the other one. There was one the first person you
By the
speak to.
sounds of it, after that first thing, you're dead cop.
Oh well, yeah. After that first run through, definitely. Just put him in the room. We'll save him for a game of Quiplash later. But yeah, there was like the first conversation you have with someone as well as a woman smoking a cigarette on a balcony, and you can try and roll suggestion to tell her that you like her physically.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I failed, and the words just came out of his. I failed. The words came out of his mouth, and the only option I had was, "I want to have fuck with you."
Yep.
Just the words slipped out, and she responded afterwards quite happily and just laughed. It's just like, no, I like the fact that you completely fucked that up. What did you say? And I was like, no, I want to have sex with you. And she went, no, that's not what you said. Can you say it again?
And you have
And
to
I
say
just like
all over.
one of the options was just sigh. I said, I want to have fuck with you.
The thing I got from that conversation in particular was, oh, got a good sense of humor or whatever. That'd be good when we talk later. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, because she then says, it's going to, just remember that, because it's going to suck when you have to interrogate me. And for the record, I didn't do it. And that's before you even find out what's happened, which the murder case sort of revolves around a body found hanging from a tree. And as it's weird. It's I like the setting as well. It's set in a time period known only as the 50s. it can't be like the 1950s though, because he's wearing flare trousers,
Yeah, flares was the
like
70s.
disco gear. He's got like the mullet, the mutton chops of someone who's living in the late 70s.
Yeah, the 70s. It's got a 70s vibe because he's got the flare pants, the mullet, and whatever. The artwork reminds me of because that's the other thing that I like about the thingy. It looks like they've hand painted a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, it says it here. It features a distinctive watercolor art style,
You can see
which is
you can see the brush strokes on the screen
yeah.
with the artwork.
So it's it's really nice to look at, and for what it is completely out there in regards to its other things. So
It's kind of bonkers. When I was watching you watching, I was like, what?
yeah. Like I said, I think at one point maybe we sit down, maybe just record a couple, just start from the beginning again. We'll just make a character, me and a co-pilot or whatever. Just choose
The options.
choose what we want to kind of make, and we just go through it.
Because there's a lot of conversation options and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've just saw here. There's another thing called the thought cabinet. So sometimes you'll learn about your inner thoughts. Like I say, you've got 24 separate thoughts trying to speak to you all at the same time, and sort of sometimes you can go through and you'll learn something, and you'll need to internalize that thought. So you need to do things for a certain period of in-game time, so you can try and figure out stuff. One of them is, where the fuck's my house? Why am I living? Why am I living in this sort of motel / cafeteria place? And why did I wreck it up? Well, I was obviously out of my head, but
I did like the first crime scene. You had a shoe out, shoe through the window.
Yeah, broken glass. It was broken from the inside, and it's like, oh, did I shoot something? It's like, no. Did I punch it? No. Yeah, and I realized that I only had one shoe in my apartment. So it came down to the conclusion that while I was absolutely shit-faced, I had threw my own shoe out of the window. And then you get a task, which was find your other shoe.
Oh.
So
How low you have to be to find your own shoe?
Yeah, but it's just
It was
great.
outside. It was outside on the balcony or whatever.
Yeah, it's just great. But like I say, it's fun, and I think we'll be getting back to that at some point, just to see where we go. So yeah, I'd say that's our what's been played special, wrapped up in a neat little bow, which is more information than my amnesiac cop knows at the moment.
Well, I think you're on Fusion. Not Cop would know more if it was. You could write a word in a napkin, and that would be more knowledge than he's freaking got.
Yeah, it is true. He's entirely average cop. He's not great with words, not great with booze. Oh yeah, no, I've got new tasks now that apparently I looked at cigarettes and alcohol, and my electrochemistry part of my brain said, "You want them. You want them all. You don't just want to finish that cigarette that the woman's just put out. You want to get like a whole pack of them. No, you want to get a whole carton. You want to smoke them all at once. You want to look at their slender bodies and then smoke them all."
Yeah, he's definitely got some kind of smoking habit.
Yeah, and I did like to one of the there was a list of options, and they all basically said they went from yes, absolutely, to I'll think about it. But the one that nearly caught me and D out when we looked at it was, well, I'll not do that.
I'm not wanting cigarettes, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna get absolutely wrecked, but we'll find out what happens to Average Cop at a later time. But yeah, if you like what you heard about us talking about stuff, and
Even a
would want
little
to hear more,
segue in,
yeah, please click the dialogue choice to like, share, and subscribe. Pass the skill check of clicking the bell. That requires mouse pointer skill. It's easy. It's as long as you don't fumble, you'll be fine.
But if you do critical fumble, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, it's not it's a white check, so you'll just be able to do it straight away again. And yeah, keep an eye on all the other videos on the Immaterial Gamers channel, and you can listen to the podcast anywhere where the podcast is available, which is pretty much almost everywhere. So again, that requires
It's like everywhere but nowhere.
there's never even a when, it just is. Yeah,
How does this happen?
that's an easy red check of check streaming services. Again, shouldn't be difficult. Should be absolutely fine. But all that's left is to finish the dialogue conversation with D and Darius.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. Is basically what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Thank you guys
And
for joining us,
that's all right.
Yep.
for listening.
And until next time, please, for God's sake, don't smash your inside window with a shoe.
Actually, with our new double glazing,
Yeah.
you got 2 panes.
Oh yeah, they'll just bounce off. So we'll see you next week.
See you. Bye bye.
So